everybody, welcome to the Scott Show, the 435 Politics Show. And I wanted to explain 435 Politics Show is called 435 because that is how many House of Representatives members there are. We are looking at 102550 Homeless Project. We're looking for 435 people, one from each congressional district, and please join us and have a great time doing it. We're going to get a lot of stuff done. But we're talking about the week in politics. And first things first, Trump was in China, outside the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. He praised the country of China, which sounded a lot different than what he did as candidate Trump. Talking about, you'll hear it on the Scott and Kyle show. Whenever I say Trump, Kyle will go, China. So look forward to that the next time we have a Scott and Kyle show. Or you can listen in the archives. But I'm quite surprised in this, but he did take a little swipe on former leaders and say that it was the United States' fault and that we need to do better, which I gotta agree with the guy. I mean, even though I'm not a big Trump supporter or one at all, I still gotta say, hey, our trade deals are not that great. And then moving down, now I'm on CNN Politics, so we do different things with the politics, weekend politics. Sometimes I write things. Today I'm looking at CNN Politics, kind of going up and down and seeing what's going on. Now, 6 days ago we didn't do anything nationally about politics, so I do have to give you guys a heads up on some of the elections that did happen. Virginia and New Jersey got new governors, both Democrats. Andrea Jenkins won a seat on the Minneapolis City Council. She is the first openly transgendered person of color elected to a public office. So that's pretty cool. New Minneapolis City Council person, Andrea Jenkins. Her victory was part of a landmark night, and it was for sure for minority women candidates and transgender candidates. They actually had another one win a seat in the state legislature in, I believe, Virginia, if I'm correct on that, and I'll double check here. It happened in, and it doesn't say. Virginia, okay, I was right. Okay, so, sometimes you just need a little heads up. That's why I always have these sites open, and there you go. Now there's a picture of Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin talking at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Leaders Summit in a central Vietnamese city. World leaders from 21 members took place, and they also released a joint statement about ISIS. So look for that one. Trump is back or on his way back, I believe, from Asia. And from what it looked like, it was a very interesting trip. So there you go. There's a picture of him and Melania outside the Forbidden City in Beijing and the big towers there. And then there's a picture of Mike Pence as he gives a address at the prayer vigil for the victims of the shooting in Sutherland Springs, Texas. 25 people got shot in Texas, and an unborn child. It does say the suspect. I have and will continue to never say the name of any of the suspects or the shooters, as I think they are losers and not worth my time. So I will not say who they are. That's what we have other news for, but I will continue to say that every single time. Now Trump was going to go to the DMZ, the Korean Militarized Zone. However, he was not able to make it due to bad weather. But that would have been really interesting. That would have been a picture to definitely see Trump at the DMC. Now, Phil Murphy is the new governor-elect in New Jersey. There's a picture of him kind of hopping up there. And then the new governor of Virginia was also named, and that's Ralph Northam, as he defeated Ed Gillespie. Now, Steve Bannon, the former chief strategist, speaks outside an event talking about Alabama GOP Senate candidate Roy Moore. And you guys knew that listening to a politics show, I was going to have to talk about Roy Moore. He is a Senate candidate. He's running against Doug Jones. And that election is coming up. And when it's done, if Roy Moore loses, I don't think anyone will ever hear his name again. I think the Republicans have decided that if they would rather have a Democrat in the Senate with them than having Roy Moore, because they have no shot of kicking him out, which is bad on their part, and that's just politics, though. And shame on a lot of people. I mean, we have an amazing group that puts together whole bunches of material, and they look at everything. They do research on every single thing you can imagine. The fact that they couldn't find anything on Roy Moore, or nobody said anything until he won the general, or until he won the primary election and became the candidate of the Republicans, is freaking believable. That's all I have to say. So now, this is not a Roy Moore problem. I don't think it is. I truly don't think it's a Roy Moore problem. I think it is it's a Democrat dream. At the same time, it's a Republican nightmare because they didn't do their job. Now, Roy Moore, if the allegations are true and he did all the things that he did, well, shame on him. And it's just all terrible. But shame on the Republicans for not, that's what I was told. And nobody checked this stuff. It's just so disappointing. Now, Senator Bob Melendez walks to his car. He leaves the court after day 2 of a jury deliberation in his corruption trial. So that is something else coming up. I do know that if he is found guilty, he will have to leave the Senate, and New Jersey Governor Chris Christie will have to name a new person, unless Christie waits and then January rolls around and Phil Murphy names somebody. Then it would actually go 50. The Senate would go 50-50 with the vice president breaking the tie. So we're looking at a very interesting line of stuff going on there, where you have Senate that would be way open, and if you had one Republican move against or change their idea, the vice president could never break the vote. Very interesting how that works. Then you have Rene Boucher, who appears in court after assaulting Rand Paul. He gets 6 broken ribs in the assault, and apparently it was over some mess in the yard or something like that. It was really weird. Danica Rome is the person who won and is the first openly transgendered lawmaker elected to a state legislature. So that's a new part there. Lots of cool pictures here from the Korean trip, including White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, as she's wearing an army jacket. And it's actually a cool picture, and I do take a little shame in the fact that SNL, they're quite mean to Sarah Sanders, and they can be mean to anyone who they want to. That's the point of comedy and parody and whatever. But I just think that they are a little mean to her. I just think we should have a little bit more respect in this world. Mike Pence has a picture with his wife Karen as they are cleaning off a portion of the wall of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, so give them lots of credit for doing that. Awesome. And there's a lot of other stuff happening in the world of politics as we move along, folks. The big news is the elections that happened on Tuesday and last Tuesday, and Roy Moore, the Senate seat that's open in Alabama. We will follow that more as we do here on the 435 Politics Show. And we will have a show Sunday morning now. Sunday morning will be our Week in Politics show, as we will be following what's going on in the world of politics. And I will have a little bit more insight as well on Minnesota politics as we move forward. So thank you guys so very much. You guys have a great day here on the 435 Politics channel.